Coming up on Look What I Did.
A suburban basement they turned into a world of tiki. And getting a clean new look by piling on the mud. Plus, building a house that's big enough to match the lake. Next.
Appearances can be deceiving in this next home. Behind door number 1 is everyday normal. But it's what's behind door number 2 that proves you can never judge a book or a house by its cover.
Hi, I'm Scott Wolfson.
And I'm Jen Wolfson. We're from Germantown, Maryland.
Welcome to Suburbia. Want to see our suburban surprise?
Do you want to choose door number 1?
Door number 2.
Ah, door number 3.
Good choice. Come look what we did. Ooh! When we moved into the house, the basement actually was like a royal blue.
It was a denim blue. Definitely did not fit our style. And I told him, basement's all yours, honey.
We've kind of grown up with an appreciation for kitsch and campy, fun things. At some point in college, I think the Polynesian thing kind of clicked. Loves the puffer. Going to a few different restaurants, it really hit me that, hey, this is something that's fun. When you first open the door, I think the reaction is a cautious one.
Nobody's really sure what to expect. You are greeted by a giant moai head on the ceiling of the stairwell.
The moai are these giant carved stone monoliths almost that are representations of men on Easter Island.
And then you will also see the bamboo bridge, which will enter you into our tropical paradise.
For the walls, we bought 4x8 sheets of hardboard, kind of like pegboard without the holes. Covered them with bamboo on the bottom and tropical matting on the top.
We took the construction adhesive and basically just did lines along the hardboard. Then we laid out the split pieces of 1-inch bamboo one by one and spaced them out so you couldn't see a lot of the hardboard. And then we had to weight it down and let that construction adhesive dry before we could mount it up on the wall. To cover all the seams, we got 4-inch wide darker bamboo posts that look like support beams to hold up the ceiling. To secure those 4-inch wide posts, we just took deck screws and we screwed them in at the top and the bottom.
For the bamboo and pretty much all the supplies downstairs, we shopped online, and I'm a little kid, I love getting packages. So when we got the first shipment of bamboo, it was pretty amazing because the porch was covered with boxes. I wanted to get a lot of texture in the room. The bamboo and the matting achieved that pretty well, but then I discovered palm tree bark. Then I realized, because I had a lot of leftover, I realized that I could trim it and actually make what looked like shingles to cover other sections of wall.
In order to use that palm tree bark to make those shingles, we had to take scissors and cut off the fringe part of the palm tree bark. The end effect was we had the pile of shingles that we could simply staple on the wall and just did them in layers so that they overlapped and it just looks like shingles.
I was shocked at how good it looked. I thought it was going to look kind of cool, but it looked so much better than I imagined. After a bit of experimentation, we finally figured out that bamboo shades were really going to be the way to cover the ceiling, using double-sided mounting tape, which worked really well for about 2 weeks.
And then the blinds began to fall and sag. So we ended up going to our tried and true friend, hot glue.
Hot glue. Yep. We also found some fluorescent light diffusers online that actually look like the sky, so that when you turn on the fluorescent lights, it's still got a Polynesian feel to it. One beautiful idea that I had that Jen did veto was filling the basement with sand. So I caved, and we went with artificial grass. We lugged it downstairs, unrolled it, and all of a sudden we had lawn in our basement.
While we bought most of the things down there, we actually built the bar ourselves. So we bought all the lumber, and we just went piece by piece, constructed the whole thing. Once we built the bar, we had just a basic plywood box with a step and a top.
We went to a fabric store, got a big piece of faux leopard fur, stapled that on top of the bar, and then covered it with a piece of acrylic. Fortunately, in the basement, there was already a closet where the bar itself is. And so we simply put the bar that we built in front of it. To show off all of the Polynesian mugs, we also wanted to make our own shelves. So we just took some run-of-the-mill plywood, mounted it on brackets, and then covered it with bamboo. But instead of having plain bamboo, I took a blowtorch and put it to the bamboo and transformed it into almost a tortoiseshell look.
To complete the lounge, it took us about 4.5 months of working weekends and all free time during the day. The grand total for building that basically cost about $12,000.
The grand opening party that we had was amazing. To see it filled with people made it even better than we had anticipated.
People would come down those stairs and cross over that bridge, and you could hear the, oh my gosh. And that just made it all the better for us.
Our Polynesian habit is like bamboo, it just never stops spreading.
Coming up next, a surprising...
Right now the bridge doesn't cross over anything, but someday it will cross over a river of lava. Fake lava, of course. Well, unless there's some practical way to get it. But probably fake lava.